Hey everybody, and welcome on back to Building with Whip. Today we are back here in our awesome new village farmland area, which I am so happy about. I could just wander through this area for so long, looking at the fields, checking out all the little bits of detail that we added in throughout this place. And I love this new archway that we have on the front of it. It just worked out so freaking well, and I'm just so in love with it. And coming here into the village, you all have probably noticed there are a few more structures over here. I decided to just go ahead and build the rest of our farmhand buildings. Well, not the rest of them, the farmhand buildings. The interiors we will be tackling here soon, but I wanted to quickly start this one off and just show y'all a little bit of a tour around this place. So over here we've got a nice little cart in the front. A lot of people want to see more things along the front of the village, so I figured to hit in right behind the gateway. Somebody stuffed their cart off to the side where they can have all their goods ready to go. And I'm in the process of reworking this area back here. I don't like it just being all leaves and grassy things, everything like that. I think I'm going to fill in. I got all these wheat seeds on me and everything like that. I think I'm going to take my diamond hoe and fill in a little bit of a wheat field right back there, kind of hidden behind the buildings. I think it'll give it a cool bit of color contrast to everything going on in here. Now this structure over here is a bit of a diagonal. I decided to make it a very short, so you can still kind of see over the tops, and I really want us to be able to see the rest of the village around this place here as well, which I think is going to be absolutely awesome. But this one is very cool. It's got one of those brick and granite roofs on it, which I think worked out super well for us. As I mentioned here, I've still got the interiors left to go on these guys. And let's slap a few torches down in here, because otherwise that could get very dangerous very fast. But we've got this place for a chimney coming through, a little fireplace, and that one over there. Then here in the front we've got another little bit of a wheelbarrow, guys. I tried throwing a well in here and it was just too bulky and it didn't work out too well. You know, the well wasn't too well, and I don't know. Coming in here we've got this nice little one. It's got a little upper area on here for a second floor, and it's got another little tiny area up here for a small storage area, I'm thinking. And then we can work with our fireplace there in the corner. I think that'd be very cool. I tried to make sure all of these turned out to be different shapes and different styles on the inside as far as like the general structure of the building. I think it worked out pretty well. Like this one over here has a little bit of an overhang to it, which is protecting some lumber and firewood and things like that underneath it. And coming inside, it's just kind of a big boxy interior on the base. And then the second floor is that little jut out point for a cool little bedroom of sorts is what I'm thinking. And it's going to work out really well. I'm super excited for this one, but now it's time for me to come back here, throw the wheat seeds in the offhand. I think I'm going to get rid of this guy for now. We can just bring down this whole hill for ourselves. And it is time to throw a little tiny wheat field right back in here. So I think what I'm going to do is get rid of all of these and the flowers and everything, and just kind of smack the wheat in here as much as I can in between all these places, and just get rid of the grass and kind of this whole area that's cleared out in here. I'll fill it up as much as I possibly can with 2 1/4 stacks of wheat seeds. That's not going to get us too far, is it? So I've recently seen some other YouTubers that have just these such bright videos where the video, like the Minecraft gameplay, is just so bright and colorful, and there's some high contrast for some of the darker areas and everything along those lines. And I finally figured out what settings it is, and I'm really happy with it. I want to share it all with you all. I actually learned this one from Germsy Boy. He was showing off the settings, and you just come into here in video settings and shaders. You need Optifine for this. You go into internal here and you turn old lighting to off, and it makes everything so much brighter and clearer and just easy to see everything off in the distance. I know it's probably much different than regular default. Like this is it right now, and this is it with default with 100% brightness. So obviously you can see the whites and everything are much brighter in the other way, and I think I personally like that one. Let me know what you think all in the comments below on that. And back over to the bright version, I have added in that wheat field here in the back, and was starting to bone meal some of it up, and I was like, that's going to take so much bone meal to do this entire section over here. And I actually got a pretty good distance off of those few stacks of leaves that we had, or seeds that we had, and got all the way to here through up there, which I think is going to be a cool little bit of detail as a backdrop to these houses, or a back area to fill that in. I want to find ways that we can fill these things in without just having, you know, just bone mealed grass everywhere, kind of like what we're doing in those positions. I want these things to be more like on their own unique sides where that stuff all gets pulled in together. But today what I would actually like to focus on is building up this red structure right here. It's going to be rather large. It's going to be a very big structure. This here is supposed to be an inn or a tavern of sorts on the lower floor, and then the upper floor was going to have like a bridgeway coming over to this side where we have the stables and the inn is going to be kind of having some room and board on the second floor of that one. The second floor of this one's also going to have that. And these are just going to be some very large structures. I need to find some ways to break it up, because otherwise we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 blocks wide on a diagonal makes the roof go whoop and whoop, and it'd be huge. It'd make all of these structures over here look absolutely tiny, and we don't really want to do that. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time wandering through here, seeing what I can't come up with. And are you one of our named seabirds? You are. Oh, by the way, this is our new seabird, Bully. We have Goalie and we have Bully now for gullible. I thought it was a great joke. And our horse is on top of his wagon. Nice. It has been a little while since we last spoke here, and I have decided to get the rough outline of our main structure for the inn set up. We haven't touched this one at all here today. We'll get to that here soon. But one thing that I wanted to do for today's episode, because I keep trying to find unique ways to explain things, or at least add something new to a discussion on Minecraft building or whatever it might be, is today I went ahead and built up our base shape here. Obviously this side I brought it out a block. This is the little extra guy over there that we can get rid of. And then the roof, I decided to start playing with the general shape of this thing, and see if we can't fly up here super fast, because I'm starting to run real low on elytra durability. It's down at 23 right now. And anyways, I want to add a balcony up here, and then this is just going to be the roof going backwards on both sides there. Those will link up pretty perfectly in there. But what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about how we can add details to the build. I am confident that any single person watching this video right now could make something like this. Maybe that little texture variation stuff right here is a little bit more on the weirder side, but anybody can put one block here, stack a second floor on top of it of another block. That is something that literally anybody should be able to do inside of this game. And I also added our floor in here using some polished andesite and light gray concrete. I think it's kind of cool. But what I want to do today, as I mentioned, is show how to add the detail to these outside bits. Before we get to doing it for this build, which we will be building up this guy here later today as well, is I wanted to come over here back into these buildings and experiment with something real quick. One thing that I have personally realized that I always do while building in Minecraft is I just come over to a wall right like this and say, cool, we got our staircase. That can get us up here, and it can walk us up to the next floor. That probably would have to be moved back anyways. But one thing that I want to start practicing and bettering myself with and kind of learning how to do things a little bit differently is using the build, the shape of the build, everything that we have available to us to determine where like the stairs should go. So maybe right here we can put a bit of a wall right through this point and then add a stair right up in here. So this is how we can get to that second floor instead of having to go through this entire, like, you just have like this big open room. We can use the staircase as a dividing factor for how we can get to our next area. Or maybe even, let's see if we can't get this guy going out this way, and then we would need one more right up there. I know that's going to make it very, very cramped down in here, but I think it's going to be something really cool that we can start experimenting with. So I'm going to play with the interiors on these little small structures for a little while, see what I can't come up with, see if I can't find anything worthwhile to show y'all on this one, and then we can get to the big guy that we were just talking about a second ago, and I think I might have to make a trip out to the end first. Alright, I've been having the hardest time fighting skeletons out here. I just killed one, and oh my gosh, like every single time I jump and the skeleton hits me, it's like putting me in the elytra flying mode, and then I just like can't move forward. I almost died to a single skeleton that did not have an enchanted bow right here. That's a little sad, I think. But anyways, I did the lower floors on all of these buildings. That one's actually only a one-floor building, so I did the entire thing. But coming into this house right here, we've got a little front entry room and that staircase design that we're talking about. Whereas beforehand, I would have probably just like put it up on this side and then just had a big open room and divided up with just like some furniture in the middle. But I love this dividing wall. Those are very much harder to show in like builds or things like that when we're, you know, doing a time lapse or something. But I think it works better as far as the actual design of the house. So come back here, we got a nice little kitchen area. It's very overgrown and stuff. I love doing that in the kitchens, is having these big leaf bushes, being like an herb plant or something that they have hanging down. Then we got a little front area with the paintings and bookshelves, all that lovely stuff. Coming up here, we've got a little bit of, yeah, I didn't really finish the upstairs as I mentioned, but it's got a bed. So, you know, it's fully equipped. It's functional. It does its thing. And we're getting to be more skeleton time here, apparently. But coming over here, we've got the second house, which is looking pretty nice. You come inside, got a nice little billboard of stuff going on. We got a big old #1 right there, or a key or something. And then over here, I've decided to bring the staircase up, like, literally right in the center, and it's just this open point up here. I decided to decorate a little bit on that back wall, so when you're looking up, it's an illusion that it's finished. Then back in here, we got a little carpet, comes down there, we got a little hidden chest, and then I did another dividing wall for the kitchen, and then also changed the floor being used, and I added these oak trapdoors, so it still felt like you could see through it. It still felt bigger. It doesn't feel fully like that's a wall, because you can see through everything over there, right? So I thought that was kind of a cool detail. Polished diorite floor in here, then we got a few little beetrooty thingies that are growing up, and we can bone meal them up here, actually, now that they're full on planted in. Those would be good to go. A little fireplace back here, and then coming up in this area, it's a little bit of a storage attic of sorts. Then moving on to our last house, if we can, before the night comes in and it's full of terrors and kills us. We've got our last house, which is equipped with an ender chest, because I like scattering these everywhere around my builds, or every once in a while I'll throw them in a house just so that I can have them on hand. But back in this area, I think we might need to, yeah, we definitely need to get another light source back here. I don't think I put all my lanterns away. Bummer. For now, let's just go ahead and throw a torch back in there, and that'll be good. Then this has a little bit of a loft area for our bedroom. So you have a little bed up here, which is pretty sweet. We've got another little furnace area, or a little campfire thing going on in here. That's going to kind of go up and do its whole thing in there. Can I break that? I cannot. Okay, yep, there we go. Let's put those back in there and just leave them like that. And then we got some beehive things over there, and then just little tiny bits of stuff going on here. I was gonna change the floor out to blast furnaces, and I only had 2, so it's almost like a floor mat when you're looking at this stuff. I don't know. I don't really know what it's doing, but it's time to get back to work on some other stuff in the world. Well, I was wandering out to the end because I'm so used to playing on Legacy, that's where our experience farm is, that I just kind of kept going there. And after I got through, I was like walking down my nether tunnel to get towards it. I was like, huh, I haven't been here in so long. I literally haven't been here since I've done the glass textures for my texture pack. This was trying to be like almost a sci-fi-ish area. And, well, it's a little weird right now, but I guess this is going to work for repairing it. It's kind of nice, you know, take a little bit of a change from the other place that we had. So let's go ahead and unequip those, and we can just kind of do a little bit of a smashy, 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 smashy. Nope. Oh, wow, they can apparently hit me. That's not good. Oh, yeah, I remember why I stopped using it. Because it sucks. Well, I guess it still gets the job done. Electra's fully repaired, and I think the rest of our tools are pretty much fine for now. Do I have any good stuff out here? Well, that's not a bad book. Not a bad book. Now it's time that we can come back over to the inn, right? I think we've done enough work around the outside rest of this place, and one thing that I wanted to do in here was spend a little bit of time working with the front entrance, and I think I forgot all of my stones. I really want some stone brick. I did. Let's go get it. Crisis averted. We have our stone brick now ready to go, and we're actually going to use those 2 polished andesite. I think that's going to be just oh so nice. And what I wanted to do with this one is we have our front doorway right here, yeah? So we can do polished andesite, and we can do stone brick walls. I'm thinking we can bring that up to being 3 tall on those. And then outside of just in front of this one, we're just going to do a little something right like that. I think that'll be a great little front doorway entrance for ourselves. And then I'm actually out. Do I have a craft table? No, but I have plenty of wood. Oh, it's in my inventory. We are good to go. I am so forgetful today, apparently. But what we can do here, just to help round this out so it's not just quite so like flat looking in there, is add something along those lines. But then the interesting part, what I really want to do with this is I want to bring a balcony out up here. I want to have this sticking out a little bit further for ourselves so we have something more that we can work with. So adding in the spruce right like this, and then we can bring in just some regular little guys right along here, just like that. And that should be a good little balcony that we can set up on that upper layer. We can use some of these lovely spruce trapdoors, or maybe let's get some oak trapdoors. I think oak trapdoors might work a little bit better for us on this one. And this is always a difficult thing to do. What I'm gonna also do here is just kind of round these out a little bit further so they do connect to these outer points. But what we want to do here is actually bring in some full blocks. It doesn't have to be spruce planks, just whatever you have on hand, whatever you can use here. And then just start outlining some of these spots where all of your oak trapdoors are going to go. This isn't really a place that we can spend a lot of time like setting blocks down or doing much outside of this, because after this we want to go ahead and close this, and you'll see that we have a bunch of little air gaps for everything kind of going along in here. And we can't really, unfortunately, create an L shape inside of a single block using trapdoors, so we got to spend the time to come on in here and add them just like this. And then we get a little bit of a balcony in here. And then, of course, we can just pop out a doorway. What I want to do is I want to avoid it being in the exact same spot as the one down below. So maybe we move it right over here. And then we can just pop a little bit of a window in right there and grab our limestone glass and just dot that in with those ones. And then, of course, I can add another window or two over here. But we are going to have an overhang that connects these up into that guy. So this area right up there, I'm going to leave blank for now. I think when I planned this structure out originally, I was thinking more of it on the not diagonal angle. When I was thinking like, oh, we can do the shapes here, we can do this shape there. The roof is in. I don't know if it's my favorite thing yet. And I got our little deck balcony in. I think really what's going to save this build is the power of leaves, my friends. I think leaves are really going to make this one come together and actually fit the style that we have going on here. But a few things that I haven't really been doing is a lot of the other builds, like I was bringing down fences like this to help kind of disrupt things. And I've been just adding in more detail around this area. And the more I've been doing it, the more I've been like, I don't really know how I like it. But I think something like that actually does help ourselves out here with breaking up that and just breaking up the consistency of everything. But like coming up here to this upper area, as I mentioned, the roof is in, which is great. Is we've got this little balcony area here, which would be great to like view everything. Like, look at that view of the castle. That is absolutely fantastic up here. But we've got this cool spot where you can jump up on top of those. Oh, that's good to know. But I want to install a bit of a garden area up here with just a few leaves and some planters if we can. And I think it'll work out pretty well. Then up here, I might break out some windows. I don't really know if I want to anymore or not. I kind of like the roof just as is like this, but I also think it needs breaking up. What I do want to do though, is we need right in, I think this area right here. I'm going to break all of this out and bring in a small chimney area, which should be pretty good for us. But up here, it looks really cool looking at the roof like that. I think it's pretty sweet. And then I was thinking also outside of that, I want to have a second, more main chimney feature right back in here. I think this will be like the big one for the gathering hall and everything like that, where people are just kind of hanging around. You know, we'll have a bunch of chairs over here. And then we'll divide this area out probably, I don't really know. Let's just use some oak for now. We can probably divide it out along this line. And this area back here can be our kitchen. We're not going to tackle the interior today because this exterior, including that building over there, is going to be pretty big for projects wise. But let me keep getting some more work done. I'll show you all what's up next. And with closing up these little trapdoors right here, I've done a lot more work. It's been a long time since we last talked, and I wanted to give a little bit of an update here of the second house is now built up. And what I need to do now to make it all pretty and nice and everything is add a bunch of leaves, and that's very much... we got to finish the build with a bunch of leaves all over the thing, and I think it's going to make the whole area so much better. But it's looking pretty sweet. This overpass here, I think it worked out. I wanted to have a little bit more of an arch to it. So I'm thinking about changing the stair to being right here. I've kind of wanted to do that. And do I have any spruce wood on me? I do. And then I was thinking like we could even just do like a strip spruce log coming all the way down right here to make it really look like things are fortified. And I still need to do the stone brick down at the base, just adding a little bits of stone brick around there, but I don't quite have any on me right now. But that's actually not too bad. I think I could get used to that, because then we could do this here. We could copy that one right into here, and then at this point we could go ahead and just do another one of the strip logs, and I think that might, yeah, no, that actually works pretty well right there. So I did want to quickly take a moment to say sorry for this video being so late. If anybody caught a post that I made and things I mentioned on Twitter over the last few weeks, I've decided that I want to take a little tiny bit of a step back from YouTube for the next little while. Unfortunately, with the way things are, as I'm sure you all are aware, there's a lot of crazy things going on IRL right now, and unfortunately that toll has been taken very hard for a lot of YouTubers. I've been having one of my best months as far as views go on YouTube, which is absolutely insane, at least for the last month I did. But with the way the CPM works, which is basically how we get paid for advertising and everything like that, unfortunately it's like way down. It's like my views over the last month are up 30%. My revenue compared to the last 30 days is down about 30%. So if you think about it, views went up that much and revenue just went whoa. So being as this is my job, I kind of figured this is not a bad time to take like a mini self-care vacation of sorts, just to, you know, kind of hang out and do some more things and just kind of do that stuff. So I know this video has been taking a little while to get out, and published and everything like that. And I've been doing a lot more of those smaller tutorial ones because I still want to get some content out for you folks, but those things are much quicker for me to build and kind of get through. And then I'd prefer that for these videos that I put out, I can do something more special with them. This gives me the ability to say, you know what, I'm not going to limit myself saying this video has to be out on Wednesday, which hopefully this video is out on Wednesday. But that thing aside, is that I want to give myself the time to, you know, have that creative freedom to come in here and build something this crazy large, build all of these houses over there, do the interiors on all of the little houses, and then set up like a stables and just kind of work through all of those different things and the different elements of it that I feel like if I was trying to do that and get all these videos out all the time, like it's not really something that's super achievable. So I figured I would take the time to, you know, just kind of enjoy the building process of it more so than not, and spending time and just kind of enjoying building in Minecraft instead of being like, oh man, I gotta get this video done and out and published and all that stuff. And then with everything else going on, it's like, is it really worth working that crazy hard right now? I feel like now's kind of the time to not be doing that and prioritize other things, or myself at least. So I hope that kind of makes sense for everything's coming up here. But also I did want to give a quick update if I haven't lost all of you. Wednesday the 20th being next Wednesday, so 7 days from now, I'm going to be doing a big old live stream over on Twitch for a much longer period of time. I originally said 12 hours, but we'll see on that one. Since that time, I said 12 hours would be celebrating 500 subscribers. And since that time of doing that, we're already down at 450 subs already. So I don't know if I'm going to be doing a full 12 hours, but we will be doing a longer live stream to celebrate all that and do all that kind of fun stuff over there. But yeah, mark your calendars. Wednesday the 20th, be starting at 8 a.m. Pacific time, roughly, which would be 11 Eastern time. And I'm not really sure what it's. I'm like GMT -8 or something like that right now. Who knows? It's weird time zones and things. But anyways, it's time for me to finish this build and get some leaves on it. I'm trying a little bit of the lower quality version of the BSL shaders, which I've been using. So if you notice the big difference between last clip and this clip, let me know. But the big difference on my side is the frames are much more stable. Up here, it's like consistently 30 plus, whereas in the other one, it is sometimes dipping down to 17 or 18. But anyways, we're back here and I've got this build completely finished for the exterior, and it looks fantastic. I absolutely love it. And one quick thing before we jump out of here, though, is I want to give a quick announcement. I know, another one. I'm sorry, we just did a bunch of them. But I'm actually a little over 2,000 followers away from 10,000 on Instagram. And once we hit 10,000 over there, I unlock a heck of a lot of new features for my account that'll be so nice for becoming more of the Instagram influencer in the Minecraft world, all that cool stuff. But long story short, if you want to follow me on Instagram, link is down in the description below. But we've got this whole structure here finished up. Leaves are going all the way around it. I added in one of our custom trees, which I think turned out pretty cool. I started doing a little bit of terraforming and I was like, nope, that's a project that we could do later. So I'm going to be saving the rest of the terraforming for live streamy stuff, or maybe, you know, next episode. But we really got to get that side sorted out for terraforming and making it actually, you know, at the level of where the bridge drops out of it. So we'll start on that soon. But I want to finish this whole side of the river first. One thing that I realized I never showed you all with our last rocket here, can we take off? We can. Is the little garden area up on the top up here. I think it's super sweet. I think it turned out really cool. It's meant to be very like closed in here and everything. It's very much supposed to be closed off. Let me know what you think about the general shape and everything for this house here. I know it's a different one. I know it's a little bit more on the unique side for what I typically do, mostly having this big old thing jutting out here on the end. But I think it turned out pretty well. So, my friends, that's where we're going to have to be leaving it for today's episode. Please be sure to click that like button down below. Let me know in the comments below what you'd like to be seeing next from this here series, or the series in general for stuff down the road. I'm always looking for feedback on this because it seems like everybody's so supportive of this series. So if you want to see me kind of prioritize this one more, please be sure to click that like button down there as well. It means a heck of a lot to me for you all supporting the channel, and I love to return that support back to you all for the videos you like to see. But anyways, that's it for me. Subscribe if you're brand new, and I will catch you on the flip side.